Welcome to Talk Birdie To Me. This is Australia's most popular golf podcast with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn, the only player to beat Tiger Woods twice in match play, and tour pro Mark Allen, who played professional golf around the world for 15 years, including a British Open. We're coming from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist is the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy is the #1 shoe and glove in golf. And thanks to our great partners, Betr, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Download the Betr app from the app stores today. Now that's better. And keep in mind, what are you really gambling with? Ping? As with Nick O'Hearn, they'll help you play your best. See your local golf shop or professional for a Ping club fitting. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. Visit golfclearanceoutlet.com.au for your nearest store. Watch My Numbers turns your bogeys into birdies. Download the app from Google Play or the App Store. Now, from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, Talk Birdie To Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Well, g'day, it's Masters Week, and this is the Talk Birdie To Me Masters Special. Good to see you, Nick.
And you, Mark. Always love, possibly my favourite week of the year.
Yeah. Well,
golf-wise.
I remember when I was about 12 or 13, I started watching these things. Yeah. And then, as a young member of Huntingdale Golf Club, we'd be around at somebody's house. You'd take the doona, you'd have a cup of Milo and some Vegemite toast, and you'd be at somebody's house. We'd all be sitting there together, screaming and carrying on. Oh, yeah. It was wonderful, wonderful fun. And then, look, I was really lucky to get there and take tours of people. I ended up commentating there for Channel 9 at one stage as well. But just seeing the course for the first time for these people who have dreamt about going, make sure you do. It's one of the most amazing experiences. But Nick, you've played it how many times, the Masters? So forget about what we're talking about. You've been there at the top of the hill at 15 and hit 3-wood when you said you never would.
Yeah, true. And I still don't regret it. I'm sure Wilbur does. But 4 Masters I played, like you, grew up watching it as a kid. The 86 Masters was the event where I thought, okay, now I want to do this for a living. Yeah. When you watch Jack, the maybe, yes, sir.
Yeah, the commentary.
And the charge. The commentary was epic.
Was the most epic commentary in the history of golf.
Yeah.
Was the 1986 Masters.
Vern Lundquist. He was the guy. He was the man.
Yeah.
He really was.
Even Tom Weiskopf had a few cameos in there where he was just,
the Jim Nance one with Tom Weiskopf. You remember that on 16?
Just so good.
With the
Stay down, go through the ball, your destiny is right here. Or the words of those.
That was in 86 as well. Yeah. But at the same time, because Nicholas actually backed away. Do you remember that? He backed away. Right. And Jim said this in a later interview. He said, look, I'd used all my good stuff. I'd run out of everything I needed to say. So he just turned to Tom and says, Tom, what do you think's going through his mind right now? And Weiskopf says, well, if I'd have known that, I would have won this golf tournament.
But then he straightens up, he laughed. Yeah. Then he straightened up.
And you know what he said?
And delivered the most beautiful 2 minutes of commentary that there may have ever been.
It was something like, pick your shot, commit to the target, swing through the ball.
Your destiny is right here, or something along those lines. And then, of course, Jack hits it to 2 feet. It was unbelievable. Yeah. It was crazy how good it was.
But the first time I got there was, 2005. I went there the weekend beforehand. And interestingly, I got there the weekend beforehand, the Saturday, Sunday, thinking it's going to be quiet. I can't wait to get out and have a look at the golf course. Members everywhere having games.
What?
The members were playing the golf course. They'd
no way.
Yeah, they'd have guests along, and they were playing up until that Sunday before the tournament started.
Are you kidding me?
No, it was fascinating. I didn't realise this happened. So anyway, but I got there and I thought, right, the first thing I want to do is I don't want to play the course. I just want to see the back nine. So I went straight to the 10th tee and I walked the back nine.
Right.
Took a putter out with me, and that was it, just to have a good look at it. I always like to walk a course before I played it first because you get a different impression of a golf course if you just play it straight away. Now, we'd seen the golf course obviously over the years, but I thought, no, I just want to get out there. And I probably sat behind the 12th green for about half an hour, just sitting there soaking it all in.
Really?
It was unbelievable. And the funniest thing
Not many people get back behind the 12th.
They don't. You can't get across that Hogan Bridge unless you're playing the golf course. And there's not too many people play the golf course. But it was a windy day, and I remember hitting a putt from the front left of 12, thinking, where's the pin going to be on the back right? You know? And the wind was howling sort of through off the 13th tee from behind and whipping across this green. There was leaves blowing a bit about everywhere. I putted it into the water.
Are you kidding me?
I've hit this putt and I've gone, whoa, I didn't think I didn't think it broke that much, but the wind helped it, obviously, and the greens were quick because what they do is they actually get the course quick early in the week and the weekend before, and then they slow it down the Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they speed it up again Thursday. So they kind of fool you Wednesday. If you have a practice round Wednesday, it's not going to be like what it's going to be Thursday.
And give people an idea about hitting mid-iron shots into the grain on these fairways, because the ryegrass, which comes out of a zoysia grass, which is kind of like our couch but a bit thicker, when you're hitting off that grass, it's sticky in the first place. So give us an idea what that's like for these golfers who will be hitting short irons and long irons off this grass. It's on purpose trying to slow you down.
It is pure, I will say that. But they have tricks at Augusta where all the fairways, the grain comes into you off the tee. So when they have those shots of the camera towers from behind the greens looking back, the grass always looks nice and shiny, which means the grain's going away from you. So off the tee, you're hitting into the grain, so the ball doesn't roll as far. They're trying to maximise how far the golf course is. And then what they do is they also lop the insides of the trees, the pine trees on the side. They lop them, the inside limbs, so that all of a sudden the trees lean into the fairway. So where you've got to hit the ball through the air the first 100 yards or so, 100 metres, it's actually quite narrow, and then it widens out after that. But hitting off the fairways, you're right. Your club can get a little bit stuck at times because you're hitting into the grain, and they're always the hardest shots. Yeah. The other thing is the sloping lies. Hitting off, you got to get used to hitting off ball below, ball above, downhill, uphill, because it's one of those courses that, again, TV never does it justice. You know that going there. You will not play off a hillier golf course, I don't think, and have downhill shots where you got to hit it uphill and shape it.
Well, this is the one, the shot that nobody gets, I don't think, until they get there. They talk about the second into 18, it's straight uphill.
I know the one you're going to say.
The third into 15.
No, it's not the one I was going to say. That was really hard.
The third and the 15, if you lay up, it is on a severe downslope and you're trying to hit the thing up off grass that's into the grain, and the green is as deep as this table. Yeah. Tell people about that shot, the difficulty of trying to hit that one.
The best way to describe it, and this is a weird way to describe it, but it is the smelliest wedge shot you'll ever have in your life. It is so difficult because you're off a downslope into the grain, and especially with the pin on the left, it is a sliver over there. And you can't go long because it's so hard to get it up and down. Short's dead in the water, so you just got to go right. And if you're slightly off contact-wise, it's not going to spin, and you need spin coming into the green. And there's only a few yards you can land it into, and you got to get the trajectory right. You'll see players in practice rounds hitting a variety of shots all across that 15th fairway from different angles to different pins, and it's an iconic shot in golf.
Which one were you thinking of?
Second shot downhill into 10. That is one of my favourite shots there because the echo you get through the trees when you hit a purely struck shot, it just comes off like you've gone, whoa, is there a microphone around here? You hear this echo come off. But it's downhill to an uphill sort of green.
Apparently it's you think of a 14-storey building. That's kind of where we're at as far as the drop is concerned. I think someone told me it was 10 or a 14-storey building.
From the tee
to the green, it's that's the drop we're talking about.
I love that tee shot because for me, I love hitting a little low right to left cut, which is perfect there.
Yeah. And the other thing is, the course is so big. Everything is so big. The trees are big. The area is big. It's such a green place as well. That knocks your socks off. But for me, it's not until you hear your first roar where you understand the acoustics of Augusta National. And believe me, when someone does something special on 12 or 13 and the crowd jumps and screams, the echo of that noise going past rows of pine trees, it does something.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
My second year playing there was my best finish, the one where Tiger beat DeMarco.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was off in the later group, so you got the roars, you got the echoes swirling around, and you'd hear something, and then all of this roar would sort of sweep through the trees. It was fascinating. I was in the clubhouse when he chipped in on 16. Remember the one that hung? In your life, have that call? The clubhouse was almost shaking. I mean, the whole place was just erupting, and the whole roar came up through the trees. It was fascinating, so good.
And that's the other thing, because if you've never been there before, it's it's not on the side of a mountain, but certainly it's on the side of a hill, and it goes down to Rays Creek, and it's quite a drop.
Very steep.
So that the noise actually comes up as well. It comes up, and it is remarkable. Tell well, the other one. The most nerves I've ever felt in my life was the first tee of the British Open. What's it like standing on the first tee when they say, "Now driving, Nick O'Who"?
Yeah, 4 please, or whatever they say.
4 please. Yeah. Now driving, Nick O'Hearn.
Yeah, it's one of those surreal moments where that you think, as a professional golfer, am I ever going to hear those words? And it's pretty cool the first time it happens. But the Masters guys, the men of the Masters, as they call them, in the green jackets, they do things which, in their own way, they have. Well, I might have told this story before at the Masters where we had a rain delay one year and we were teeing off. I think we had to complete a round, second round, and then go back out the next day. So we had to finish the round off in the morning, play the third round in the afternoon. I think it was on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Now, we're all warming up on the range, getting ready for the third round, and the guys would, and normally, obviously, we're waiting for the tee sheet to come out the drawer, and the guys are coming around and go, "Are you ready?" And they'd say, "Yeah, okay, you go to the 10th tee." "Who am I playing with?" "Oh, we'll figure that out." "Are you ready?" "Yeah, you go to the first." And they were just going along the range, picking guys out. I think to the first tee, not the 10th tee. But they were just making it up as they went along.
That's
the
amazing,
last 20 or 25 players, I think they had in the right order. But the first 20 guys that went out, it was just, no, just go because you're ready. We needed to get this done for TV. And the Masters, they just do it their own way. It's fantastic. Could you ever imagine them making tee times up at a major?
No, never. And the other one, which shocked me, because I just watched this the other day, talking about Masters doing things their own way, is the Tiger Woods drop. For 300 years of golf, if you sign an incorrect scorecard, you don't play on the weekend, except in 2013, where Tiger Woods took an incorrect drop, signed his card, and they let him come back and play. The other thing that happened this week when Adam Scott won was the amateur Guan Tin Lee.
Yes.
So he got the 2-shot penalty. It's one of the only kid, the only player who's got a 2-shot penalty in the Masters for as long as I can remember. It wasn't one of the stars. It was a 14-year-old kid from China they picked out and gave him a 2-shot. He still made the cut.
He did.
He still made the cut. So, that week, 2013, Scotty wins it. Tiger gets to play on the weekend, even though he signed an incorrect scorecard. And Guan Ting Lee, a 14-year-old Chinese kid, makes the cut and leads. It was just incredible what happened that week.
Yep.
Okay, Nick, let's have a look at the Australians playing this week and their chances. Now, I did notice on the PGA Tour's power rankings, they've got Cameron Smith in at number 15.
Yeah, they do. There's something about Augusta for Cam that it just suits his eye, and he's had, what has he been there, 7 times? I think he's made the cut 7 times. I was looking this up a little bit earlier. Yeah. He's had 5 top 10s in 7 tries, and he's best was tied second in 2020.
And played pretty well at Durrell as well.
Yeah, which he kind of needed to, because he hasn't, to be honest, really played very good golf this season on LIV. Now, he's obviously trending in the right direction. He played well on a good golf course. He's the 2023 Open champion, so you never put it past the guy. So if he gets the right feels coming into this golf course, which it tends to do for him, he's a chance.
Yeah, the only Australian in the power rankings too. So let's go through ours. Okay. Adam Scott, can he win this tournament?
Can he win this tournament? No, I don't think so. I know he's a past champion. Best result this year is tied 15th at the Century quite a while ago. He's made 6 or 7 cuts, but hasn't really had any, results that you go, wow, he's playing really well. So, but again, you never put it past him. But if he has a top 10, I think it'd be a great result for him.
Yeah, okay. Former number 1 in the world, Jason Day, just starting to get back into some form. He's gone back to his old coach, Cole Swatton. The way he's swinging the golf club is impressing me at the moment. But just his general demeanour, I feel like, has improved. Now, I don't know whether that's because he's back under the wing of Colin Swatton or not. But I give him a real opportunity if he gets off to a good start. He's one of those players. You get off to a hot start and then he starts believing, Jason Day. But as far as the look of his putting and the look of his golf swing and his general demeanour, all he really needs to do is dress half decent this week and he'll be fine.
Well, I think he had to get approval for the Melbourne gear to wear it this week, I believe. But he's had a good start to the season. A couple of top 10s, tied 3rd at the Amex, I think it was. Yeah. He did withdraw from the Players.
Yep.
which ruined our multi, obviously.
Yeah, that's right. So this week, hopefully, just hang around for our multi because
we'll see if he's in it this time. Who knows?
It's going to be a ripper.
But he's a fair chance. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. He hasn't done well in his the last 4 Masters. I think his best result might be like a tied 30th or something. He's missed a couple of cuts, so he hasn't played well here recently. His best was almost 15 years ago, where I think he was runner-up in 2011. So. Okay,
Min Woo. We know he's had his first win. He's had a lot of tournaments where he's ended up in the last group in the third round. Can he win here? I mean, he's got all the tools, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. And Richie Smith has been his coach, working with him hard on hitting his irons higher, which you definitely need around Augusta. You need to be able to hit the ball higher at this golf course to get it to land softly. That was something I really struggled with around there to get the ball to spin as much as I needed to because of my length. So really it comes down to putting with him. He's got the tools off the tee. He's powerful enough. Obviously he can make this a par 68, no problem at all with his length. But does he have the nous to leave the ball where he needs to and putt really well? The win at Houston was fantastic on a course which set up similar to Augusta.
The same grass anyway.
Similar grass, and he beat down Scotty Scheffler, the number 1 player in the world. So I like his chances, I really do.
Yeah, look, you know what? I like the way he's chipping. We mentioned that the week of and if you've got to be hitting your chips absolutely perfectly. And when I say that, not only flighting your chip perfectly, but also the connection has to be perfect at this particular golf course. You see players mishit here and there, and what it does to their chip, because the grass is so sticky around the edge of the green, it has the room for error. If here's the edge of the green, I'm touching the table, and this is where you want to land the ball.
You got a couple of feet.
You've got 2 feet.
Yep.
To where you've got to land the ball on that in that zone for it to end up being close to the hole.
With the correct spin on it as well.
With the correct spin on it. And, of course, if it's not close to the hole, you're almost guaranteed a putt where you've got to aim outside the hole.
Other courses where if you chip onto the green and you go, well, that was a good chip and it's 3 feet, or that was an average chip, well, it's 6 feet or something like that. Here, your good chip is probably 4 feet, and your average one is 15 because the margin for error is so small between those two. So,
All right. What about Cam Davis?
Unfortunately for Cam, I don't put much hope. He's missed his last 4 cuts, not playing great golf.
Turnaround.
He got off to a good start in the season. I think he had 3 top 20s, finished 5th at Pebble. But I don't know what's going on with his game at the moment. So he did well to get the invite, obviously, top 50 in the world. So from end of last season, I think it was, or President's Cup, I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, we had a player win recently who'd missed 3 or 4 cuts in a row. Who was that? Was it JT? I'm not sure who it was. It was somebody just recently who missed 3 cuts in a row, then came back and had a win. So, look, it is possible, but this is the Masters.
True. Yeah, and you need that experience, you need the form going in. You have to be firing on all cylinders. The only player who doesn't, or the only couple of players who don't, I think, need to be firing on all cylinders is Scheffler and Rory. Tiger didn't need to be on all cylinders here. He just had that way of working the ball around the golf course, and he just waited for his moments, his chances, and he took it. You need to be a craftsman to play this golf course. The scientists kind of struggle around here. That's why I think, Scheffler, DeChambeau, not so much. Yeah, he's obviously on the scientist route. Someone like Rahm, who, he can really get the golf ball working both ways. He's a past champion from a couple of years ago, but with Rahm, it's hard to know. His majors performances since he's gone to live have been very disappointing. So, we'll see.
Look, the way Scheffler's been going too, let's talk about the big boys. Number 1 in the world, Scotty Scheffler. The way he's been playing, he hasn't been setting the world on fire, but still manages to finish, one behind Min Woo Lee, and I think he's had a couple other decent finishes along the way. You expect him to play well. He's won here twice. You expect him to play well. The other thing that is a must-watch this week is Rory McIlroy, because he got some confidence in Houston, played quite well in that last round, was happy when he walked off the golf course and said, tick. I got what I wanted out of this week. Won the Players' Championship as well.
A major.
But, of course, we're looking at... Yeah, that's right, Nick. It should be a major. But we are looking to create some history this week for Rory McIlroy to become the 6th player to win the career Grand Slam. So, of course, it's Sarazen, Nicklaus, Gary Player, Tiger Woods. Who am I missing?
Yeah, good.
Rory McIlroy is looking to become the 6th.
6th, okay. I have to think about that one.
Did I mention Hogan? I didn't mention Ben Hogan.
There you go.
So Ben Hogan. So there's your 6. So Rory's trying to, get into some rarefied air. I think he can.
Yes, I think he can as well.
I think he can.
We spoke on the pod earlier in the week about some of the comments I made a few weeks ago about a couple of things I'd love to see him change. Number one was his caddy for the majors and the big events, and number two was stop taking so long over the golf ball. I mean, I can hound on that all I like, obviously, but in those big clutch moments, you just, and for him, this is the biggest of the big. I mean, the US Open, yes, it's a major, it's huge, but if he's in that same spot at the Masters, there's actually more pressure for him because he's trying to complete the Grand Slam. This is the one he covets, the one he wants the most. He'd love to be at that Masters dinner.
I want to see history, mate. I want to see history.
Hey, so do I.
I want to see it.
So do I.
It would be remarkable. Have you got any roughies? Because I've got a couple.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of roughies. Funnily enough, Sergio Garcia's playing some good golf at the moment. Yeah, he'd love to do the Spanish double because the Spanish girl won the ANWA.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't love nothing better than to stick it to everyone on the PGA Tour. To
all those live players.
Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about Neiman and his form, but
I agree.
he never plays well in majors, though. That's the thing. I think his best result in the majors tied for 15th. So if he doesn't play well here, that'll sort of add to that story. My roughie is Akshay Bhatia, left-hander. This golf course suits a long-hitting lefty. He's long enough. Yeah. He got his Masters rookie year out the way last year. He finished tied for 35th. He's played well this season. I know he missed the cut in San Antonio, but it's probably a good thing. You can get to the Masters earlier. I just got a feeling he's going to do something special.
Okay. McIntyre, you didn't factor him in as a lefty?
No, I know. Bobby McIntyre, good player, but
he made the power rankings. I trust the power rankings to a certain extent, but I reckon they've had a shocker this week. They have had...
I don't know why. For 2 players, right?
Yeah, 2 players are my roughies. Ludwig Aberg, who came second last year. Yeah. The golf course suits him like you wouldn't believe. Yeah,
how is he not in the top 10 power rankings? I don't know. I mean, he hasn't played well of late, but...
That's an impossibility. But the player that I've put my hard-earned on this week gets no respect at all, including our friends at Betr. I'm going to talk to Richard Hummerston about this very soon because he's, like I said, I think when you gamble in golf, no one knows who's going to win. It's impossible.
And do it responsibly.
Of course. Nobody knows. But if you can see value with certain players where the odds are way too high for what they should be. Yeah. And that guy is Seb Straka for me.
Yeah.
Seb Straka.
What was his odds? Because I think...
$67 when I got on.
Unbelievable.
$67 for this guy to win. He is currently second in the FedEx Cup, and he was leading it for most of this year. He's had 3 wins on the PGA Tour. I think he's number 14 in the world, something like that. And they've got him at $67. No respect paid the Seb Straka, and I'm on.
Well, he's hot and cold. I said at the Players, I thought he'd missed the cut. He didn't. He was up there for a little bit. But,
for a little bit?
Yeah, fair call that you're on too. I think that's a good call for me. I'm not sure he's going to win, but he'll be up there.
Well, so you don't give him any respect at all. You're like everybody else, Nick. And this is going to be great.
I'm on the Betr app right now, and I can tell you that he is still $67.
Wow.
So,
okay.
All right. Well, let's get to Richard Hummerston from Betr.
Well, in the turn, you need to construct your multi in the turn.
Yes,
I know you've got some ideas, but how about in the turn you finalise it up, and let's give Hummer a yell.
Yep.
And let's put it to him, huh?
And I'll bring something back very special at the turn to show you on the 10th tee.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Wow.
Okay.
I want to know what it is. Okay.
Just especially for this one.
We'll see you with Richard Hummerston on the 10th tee.
Pay less for golf's biggest brands with 8 national store locations and free online shipping. TaylorMade Stealth 2 driver, $398. Wilson Smart Core golf balls, $14 per dozen. Adidas Traxian golf shoes, $67. Callaway Jaws MD5 wedges, $148. All the biggest brands. TaylorMade, Titleist, FootJoy, Callaway and much more. Shop in-store with 8 national stores or shop online with golfclearanceoutlet.com.au.
Looks good, man. Dude. Are we in slow motion too?
We're live from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. We all know the number one ball in golf is Titleist and the number one shoe and glove in golf is FootJoy. We're here thanks to the Golf Clearance Outlet. They beat everyone's prices. Ping will always help you play your best. Turn your bogeys into birdies with the Watch My Numbers app. And Betr, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. That's Betr. Now, back to Talk Birdie To Me. Here's Nick and Mark.
Okay, this is the Masters special. Thanks to Betr. Nicholas, we've gone through what we think is going to happen. We're going to get to Richard Hummerston from Betr in just a tick as well. But look at this stuff you've got here. Show me quickly.
I brought in a few goodies.
Yeah.
The Masters invite.
Oh, wow.
This one's I'm not sure. You should have gloves on.
Yeah.
No,
Can you see there? Hang on. I'll put it
see
over
if you
here.
can put it in front.
There we go.
Not quite. Almost.
That'll do.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
The Board of Governors of the Augusta National Golf Club cordially invite you.
Is what I'm interested in, and I don't think many people. That is. You were given that, obviously, at the start of the week. That's the Masters credit card, the player's card.
They give you a little card at the start of the week and they say, right, whatever you want to get, just show them, swipe the card and it all goes to that one account and then you pay for it at the end, obviously. It makes things simple.
Are the prices reasonable?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Have a look.
Hang on a second.
So
Let's
one thing
put
I
it
did
now. You may well think that Nick O'Hearn's as square as a hanky, but he has stolen a menu from the Clubhouse.
I
How
didn't
about that?
steal one. It just happened to fall into my bag as I was leaving. So,
Go and read out some of the prices.
well, the prices are incredible. I mean, what is it? Coffee, all the drinks are $2.
What about a full steak
lemonade.
sandwich? Steak sandwich.
Okay, open-faced ribeye steak sandwich.
And I've seen them. They're
They're
unbelievable.
incredible.
Yeah.
$14.
$14.
It's unbelievable.
So 20 Australian bucks, and you've got the biggest
That's pretty
ribeye
good.
sandwich you've ever
they
seen
got
in your life.
breakfast, lunch, whatever you want, salads. It's nothing, like $5 for a big salad. It's incredible. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's bring in Richard Hummerston from Betr because and he's wearing his Masters green shirt. Good man you are. Richard, good to see you.
Yeah, morning or afternoon, evening, whatever time you listen to this, boys. Yes, but I've only got one shirt, so it's going to be a bit worse for wear and a bit smelly at the end of the week. But if there's one week you're going to wear a green shirt every day, it's this week.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
Hey, how many markets you got up for the Masters, and how many do you think you'll get up?
Well, there'd be probably 50 already, with a lot more to come. There's some fun markets as well you can have some fun with, and certainly this market that you guys are going to put together. And I actually just think, I've just seen this in the app, you can actually do it like a Masters same game multi. So
Yes.
you can just pick a bunch of different players, the top 5, the top 10, build up your odds, chuck $5-10 on each one and cross your fingers.
Righto. Well, we've seen some odds in your markets where you've clearly given no respect to a couple of our favourites. So, Hummer, this is what we want to do this week. Scotty Scheffler, the world number 1, we would like to put him in as our top 5 pick. What's he paying for top 5, Scotty Scheffler?
You get $2.10 for him for top 5. That is very good.
He's an absolute lock for a top 5, isn't he?
Yeah, top 5, it's amazing. Now, top 10, the player who is currently number 2 in the FedEx Cup, he's number 14 in the world, and for most of the year he was leading the FedEx Cup. His name is Sepp Straka. What have you got him as a top 10?
Well, I'm going to feel silly now. $4.50. You're going to rent this here, folks.
So he's my value pick for the week. I think he can win the thing.
Well, he's paying $67 to win, and you were a bit grumpy about that, weren't you?
Well, I think he should be around. Anyway, I think he should be around $30. They're $25. Anyway, that's just me. And who's our leading Australian, Nick? Who we go?
It's got to be Min Woo Lee this week. He's coming off the win in Houston, so.
What's he paying for a leading Aussie?
Yeah, leading Aussie, $2.80.
Okie doke. So if you multi those up, hopefully Minwoo doesn't get sick and actually start, so our multi does actually get away this particular week.
Yeah, it'd be a start just to get one out of the blocks. So if I multi those up, we're getting. I'm going to
something in the 30s.
A little bit of juice. A little bit of juice for the good listeners to Talk Birdie To Me. I can give you 31 smackers.
Holy dolly.
Nice.
Yeah, very good.
Is there a minimum or a maximum bet they've got to use for that? That's value.
Yeah, there will be certainly not a minimum. Just
there'll be a maximum,
a couple of bucks. But yeah, there'll be these bets are just about having a little bit of fun. So I think we'll set it at $10. So if you're a better account holder, or even if you're not, download one and just chuck $10 on that. Get involved, win together, lose together. But I tell you what, this is I put some multi together in my time. This at $31 is an absolute ripper.
Well, I think it's a multi. I think it's a Monty.
Monty.
A Monty. An absolute Monty.
And he hates saying the word Monty.
Don't say his full name, but this is going to get up, particularly after what happened last time.
Yeah.
I mean, Min Woo's only got to beat 4 others. Seb Straka is one of the best players going around. He's only got to finish in the top 10. Finished 16th last year, by the way, so he can play at this particular golf course. And we know what Scheffler does.
He's only won 2 of the last 3.
Yeah. I'll tell you what we'll do as well. If you send us a screenshot of your Betr bet, the special for Talk Birdie To Me, then what we'll do is we'll get our friends at the Golf Clearance Outlet to randomly select a $250 winner. Ooh. So you can go into any Golf Clearance Outlet and get some gear.
Or online.
Absolutely.
So hang on, let me be clear. So if you go in and do the Talk Birdie Multi, and Hummer will get you to tell us again how to do that in a second. Yep. So if we go and put that on, download the app, it's really easy to do.
That's right. You can only get it at Betr, by the way.
Send us in your screenshot. Don't put any personal details there, nothing like that. No account detail, anything like that. Send it in. We will choose randomly someone to win $250 from the Golf Clearance Outlet.
Correct weight.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I got a 7-wood from the Golf Clearance Outlet last week for just a little bit over that. So it could be a good little prize. Win your $310 and get yourself a 7-wood.
You and Ludwig Aberg, mate, you've both got a 7-wood in the bag. I like it.
It's the best club in my bag. Yeah. I don't need to try and hit a 4-iron anymore.
Hummer, if somebody hasn't got the Betr app, it's very easy to download. It takes 2 seconds. But how do they find the Talk Birdie Multi on the app or the website when they go there?
Yeah, it'll be at the at the top. You'll see Betr Specials. Just hit the Betr Specials, and then you'll see the Talk Birdie To Me logo. Click that, and then you'll see this magnificent value multi just sitting there ripe for the picking.
Good on you, Richie. Look forward to it, and thanks so much for putting those odds together for all the Talk Birdie To Me Wolfpack. We appreciate it.
Thanks, boys. Good luck, and let's hope we get a start this time.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Hey, before we let him go, can I check on my multi that's going on right now as we talk on Betr?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on, you might be grumpy about this, Hummer. Let me have a look. I refresh. Oh, it's just come off a 6-leg multi at $5.60.
Oh.
Sorry, mate. Sorry for the bad news. Sorry for the bad news.
All right.
No, that's all right. We like punters winning. Just make sure you reinvest it.
Thanks, mate.
See,
thanks, boys.
You keep winning that. See, they've put Hummer already. He's down at the dungeon at Betr HQ. He's already down the dungeon, and he's making it worse and worse. Well, that'll do us.
I think so.
Fingers crossed for an Australian win. It's been 12 years since Adam Scott won, and having 3 Aussies in the mix in 2013 was just sensational to watch.
So you got Seb Straka. He's your guy that he's going to win.
He's where I've put my money because I believe in value in golf betting. Because like I said, nobody knows who's going to win. Yeah. But if you can see odds, hang on. If you can see odds, I want to get to this. If you can see odds that are well and truly over what they should be, that to me is just worth a ping every day of the week. Now, who's going to win?
Scotty Scheffler. But it's an easy bet, that one, surely. It's an easy bet.
So he's going to win 3 of the last 4 Masters.
I think so.
Well, I've got my fingers crossed for Rory. I want to see some history. I want to see a career Grand Slam and his name be added to the other 5.
Okay, so let's just recap this multi. So this is for Talk Birdie listeners only. The only place you're going to get this is on Betr under the Talk Birdie Specials area.
Yeah.
It is Scheffler top 5.
Yeah.
It is Min Woo leading Aussie.
That's right.
Correct.
And it is Straka top 10.
That is correct.
No respect, Straka.
No respect, Straka.
Yeah. $31. You've got to go to the Betr app, download it. It's super easy to do. And if you send in your bet slip with all your personal details removed, just send it in to us. We will choose someone at random to win $250 from Golf Clearance Outlet.
Good idea.
How good.
Hey, have you got that Rodney Dangerfield dancing clip that we could tag on the end of this?
That's so funny.
For the no respect.
It is so funny.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right.
So what?
So what? So let's dance. Go, go! Go!
Man, I got all the flavor, bitches say I'm delicious. I'ma have all you motherfuckers laying in the ditch. I'ma kill all you rappers, I'ma aim with precision. They was rocking with your till they made a decision. All my friends making mans cause they know I'm my bitch. A lot of entertainers crash, I can see the collision. That's it to make the money, I was great at the division. I finna take all your food and I'ma eat up the dish. Everything up off the table, I'm starving. Seeing all Steve Harvey. Blowing up the dome, no Sharpie. Working out, looking like a Barbie. Kid, better not play boy like Cardi. Your way to get smoked by Marley. This ain't no game, no Atari. Land moving fast like a Tony Dog.
And that's been Talk Birdie To Me, Australia's most popular golf podcast, with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen, coming from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist, as you know, it's the number one ball in golf, and FootJoy, of course, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Wherever you get your podcasts, make sure to subscribe, maybe leave a review, and we'd love you to share the pod with a friend who loves their golf. Thanks to our fantastic partners. Betr, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Download the Betr app from the app stores today. Now that's better. But keep in mind, what are you really gambling with? Ping, as with Nick O'Hearn, will help you play your best. See your local golf shop or professional for a Ping Club fitting. Watch my numbers turn your bogeys into birdies. Download the app from Google Play or the App Store. And thanks to the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Visit golfclearanceoutlet.com.au for your nearest store. Now, from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, thanks for being part of the show. We'll see you next time.